Hi guys, welcome to the Pot Stirrers.
A podcast where two brown Catholic South Africans talk about the good, bad, and ugly sides of life.
Now, stay tuned for your hosts, the Duke and Dame of Stirring the Pot, Bugz and Bloo.
The content of this episode is not suitable for sensitive viewers and includes triggers of domestic violence and rape.
With all the happenings of our country and also in the world as well, there's a lot of news going around about GBV, also which is gender-based violence. So you'll be hearing us saying GBV a lot. It's gender-based violence, and it's been over for me personally. It's been overwhelming. There's a point when we were researching this topic that we had to
stopped.
I had to stop.
He just looked at his laptop and he was just like, I don't even know what to do with it anymore.
I actually felt kind of physically ill, and it wasn't fun doing this. It was eye-opening, and I have a request for the guys. As you're listening to the show, just think about 5 women in your life and just pick one of them and just think about them during this episode, and then we'll come back at the end of the episode and I'll tell you why.
We'll let you know what that's about.
So go ahead and do that now.
Before we get into the scary stuff and
It's all scary stuff though.
it is all scary stuff. We wanted to share some channels that are available for anyone who has been affected by gender-based violence or is currently experiencing it. So there are 3 options available in South Africa. One is the Crime Stop Hotline, available on
08600 1010111. Sorry. So the number again 08600 10111.
Yes, and the crime line is also available on SMS, where you can send an anonymous SMS through to 32211. That's 32211. And there's also the GBV command center, which is available on 0800 428 428. And in case you forget that, it's basically 0800 GBV.
Okay. An interesting fact or statistic about that last number, that 0800 number, the GBV command center. Within the first 3 weeks of lockdown, they received 120,000 phone calls in 3 weeks. That's double their volume for a month.
What? Where was I?
So in 3 weeks, they double the volumes that they would normally get in a month. So
I don't even know.
So that's just the people that reported or had problems with
and that's the thing. Those are only, everything that we're sharing with you is only the reported cases.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is it's not even everything.
Yeah, it's not.
So some of the things we thought you should know about South Africa.
So these are our stats,
is that we're in the top 5 countries in the world for murder.
Yes, we have one of the highest murder rates in the world. To top it off, we also have one of the top 3 rape cases and child rape.
And
so
again, this is only reported cases.
It's not just rape, it's child rape as well. So we're in the top 3. It's something like it was 37 point something per 100,000.
Golly doodle. We'll get back to the child rape thing and why we emphasized that we're in the top 3 for rape as well as child rape.
The next one is we have 50,000 cases of reported rape that was per annum for the year 2018-2019. So again, we're stressing it's 50,000 of reported rape cases.
So bear in mind that a fair percentage of rape and sexual assault cases are not actually report it, because we don't come from a culture where things like that are spoken about, and hopefully that changes
after this episode.
Yeah, and that's part of why we're sharing all the scary and
facts,
intense stats, is to try and perpetuate the conversation that's going on in the world. In South Africa, every 27 minutes a person is murdered.
And every minute someone is raped, or woman is raped rather.
I'll say that again. Every minute someone is raped, a woman is raped. And as if that's not bad enough, there's a 5% increase per annum of that statistic.
Yeah.
So in 2019, there was approximately 114 rape cases per day. And that increases by 5% per annum. So and go figure.
And if you're looking at another stat in Gauteng province, there were about 5,000 cases of rape reported. There were 3,373 arrests made, so that was good. The shocking stat was 204 was the amount of people that were convicted, and that was just for the April-May period.
Of this year.
Of the 2020.
So 204 out of 5,000 criminals were actually convicted. I don't know how people don't feel sick to the stomach about this.
But I clearly did. The thing is, for me, reading these stats and doing the research and why it hit home, I have two sisters. One is 25, 26. The other one is, in late 30s. And my mom, obviously, is going to be in her 60s soon. And then I have a niece. I have two nieces, well, that are close to me. One is 10 and one's going to be 2. How do we, as family members, uncles, brothers, fathers, how are we okay with these stats? Or how are we... I don't know. I have no...
It's been a really difficult topic, and for our regular listeners, you can hear from the way that we're presenting the show that this was something that seriously affected us. Like, there's a famous one. It's like Blue's talking about, as a man in a family, how is no one actually upset about these statistics. And it's funny because as a woman, we're kind of taught, and we learn all of these statistics, and we're just like, okay, one in 5 of us has
experienced something,
exposed or experienced some
kind of
sort
of
sexual assault or harassment. And it's like, okay, so girls know in a group of friends, at least one of us has been assaulted. But none of you guys know any rapists.
That's the thing, because...
I'm sorry, how does that work?
Because, the thing is, a guy is not going to say that he raped a girl, because his friends will call him out.
They gon' fuck him up,
Exactly. I hope they would. That is why you will see that a guy will hide it for a very long time.
Or deny it until the end.
Because if a guy talks about it, well, I know in my circle, if any one of my bras finds out, it says something about they raping someone, or someone they know has raped someone, something's going to happen to that dude. Something's, if that guy, if we don't fucking go and find him and do something, then something's wrong.
And it's complex, because I mean, that's retributive.
Yeah, it is.
Retributive. It's
But what else?
Exactly. What else do you do if the system
if you're only getting 204
working?
convictions out of every 5,000, I mean...
What do you expect loved ones to do? By no means do I condone mob justice, but it's understandable. In my opinion, it's understandable.
An example needs to be set. You can't touch our woman and get away with it.
It's not only, gender-based violence, you kind of think that it's grown-ups. But it's not.
It's not.
It's from the day you give birth to a female that you need to be concerned about these things, because a study was done. So children in primary school between the ages of 6 and 11 were questioned.
6 years old.
Six, just
6 to 11.
6 to 11 years old were questioned about their exposure or their experience with abuse. And it was reported that girls are more likely to experience contact sexual abuse, whereas boys are more likely to be exposed to sexual content against their will.
Yeah.
In simple English, that means that a girl is probably going to experience sexual assault or
penetration.
Penetrative sexual assault, as opposed to a boy who may be coerced into
watching or maybe looking at something or
enacting something for the pleasure of a creeper.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a part of the reason why I don't want to have children.
6 years old
6 to 11
years old.
6 to 11. Your hormones haven't even kicked in yet.
You have no idea what the world is about. You're going to school to learn about ABCs, coloring in, and then you must fucking worry about someone touching you in the wrong place or watching things you don't want to watch and being corrupt. I mean, what the fuck, guys?
On the subject of getting touched in the wrong places, parents, I cannot emphasize how important it is to teach your children about these things. Please do not teach your children that they have to give one bar to that auntie or to the uncle that they're clutching at your skirts about. Children have intuition. They know. If they are not comfortable, do not force them, especially your daughters.
Yes.
There is no reason for you to go and hug and kiss anyone that you are not comfortable with, because you're perpetuating rape culture.
Yes. And please,
teach them the right names.
Yes, thank you. I was about to say
Bloo,
that.
Go for it.
Please, it's not cookie and bully. It's penis, vagina, boobs or breasts, whatever. Use the right terminology. I'm not sure if you guys heard the story where the young
it was a little girl.
Goes to the teacher and tells the teacher, "Oh, my uncle keeps touching my cookie," or he wants to play with my cookie, or whatever it is. And this goes on for a while. And the teacher doesn't think anything of it because she thinks cookie, biscuit, okay? So
the child is just making up stories about playing with her uncle.
And biscuits. Meanwhile she was being assaulted at home by her uncle. And they only found out, like, I don't know, a few months down the line. Guys, it is imperative to teach your children the right words for their genital parts and areas. And also to have the talks openly from a young age that they don't have to go with people that they don't want to go with, and you have to have your permission to go out with someone. I know a lot of people don't have full-time nannies or not at home and the kids at home, and that's understandable, but you need to have some kind of safety protocol in place. Okay, moving into the actual GBV, gender-based violence.
It's broken down into different categories. 2 that we thought we would highlight are...
The first one was IPV, so it's intimate partner violence. This is the most common of the GBV. So this is where it can happen in homosexual and heterosexual relationships. Yeah.
That also blew my mind, because you also think about GBV within the context of heterosexuality and hardly ever in homosexual context.
So IPV is your physical abuse, your sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and it's also controlling behaviors.
Emotional abuse.
So almost like a narcissist, or like I would say narcissistic behavior. So that's the most common one. The other one is?
The other one is domestic violence. So this may include IPV, meaning that it may be at the hands of your partner, but it also includes family violence, familial violence, and child abuse. Yeah. So that's the main difference.
So it doesn't have to be your partner. It can be maybe your uncle or your grandfather or whatever.
Someone in the family. But it includes children.
Yeah, it does include children. So, and it's not just giving a few claps at, like what some of us experience growing up. It's like
catching us a bull hiding here and there is not such a bad
leaving
thing,
black marks and people in hospital and
this has just been so much.
And I think what triggered this, and this is really home for Bugz, is okay, I'm gonna try and pronounce his name correctly. Uyinene Mrwetyana.
So off air, we were discussing this case, which happened in Cape Town in 2019.
Last year,
And it was very scary. And I think, in my opinion, this is what triggered the whole outcry of gender-based violence in South Africa. So Uyinene was a UCT student. She was going to the post office, bludgeoned by a psycho post office worker. And it was scary for me because I used to go to that post office. I was at UCT. And it's such a normal place to go. All the students, you jump off the jammy shuttle and you go do your shopping, you go to Pick and Pay, and the post office is a normal place to go.
Yes.
Why do women need to think twice, 3 times, 4 times before leaving their house to go buy bread, to go post something to their mother? Come on, man. And that could have been me.
Exactly. To put it in perspective, the post office is near the spa and the...
Yeah, it's in a little center that's like down the road from campus. And it was something else for me, because I used to walk there by myself. And to think that genuinely could have been me.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, my friends from UCT, and that was the whole outcry, is that, come on, we're going to buy bread. Seriously. Must we really think about when, how, why we must go buy bread?
Yeah.
It's bread.
Exactly. It's a mundane task. And that's what I said. It's a mundane task. Why do we need to think twice about sending our woman out to buy or to do mundane tasks when it should be a norm?
The nice thing is that that gender-based violence has been recognized as a pandemic.
Yeah.
Recently, our president said that after coronavirus in South Africa, which is our current pandemic, it's actually gender-based violence, because, I mean, the system's completely defunct.
Yeah, it is.
We mentioned that we're in the top 5 and top 3 for murder and rape, but also we have cultural issues in South Africa that just perpetuate, and the cycle continues.
So one of the things that we researched and found that the factors that lead to gender-based violence is the fact that we have gendered power inequality, which is perpetuated by the patriarchy, meaning that males in our society view themselves higher
as
and
superior,
have more power over females.
Why?
And
why?
Yeah, we also have a very violent culture.
Yes, so factors that can perpetuate is if you are in a violent culture, if you're exposed to violence from a young age, if within your culture men are viewed as superior, gender roles are still extremely traditional and strict, so to say, as well as controlled by men.
Yeah, I don't think traditional is the right word. I think if it's strict, traditional is fine, you know, if you have an understanding of it. But if it's like strict, where the man says you are only allowed to cook and you must cook and you can't talk about business, or if you have an opinion, then
your place is in the kitchen, because if I'm earning the bacon, I sure ain't cooking it.
But cooking is not a gender specific skill. Everyone should know how to cook. It's a fucking survival skill.
Exactly. There's nothing special, boys, if you can cook baked beans.
Or
sorry.
Clean, or fucking iron. Okay, following on from that, I think we also found that, especially in South Africa, we have social norms that encourage or fuel the GBV. In certain cultures, the women accept their abuse because of traditional...
It's a cultural norm.
Yeah.
I paid cows for you.
Yeah, lobola. So the thing of lobola, where you exchange money or cattle for your wife, and then the man has entitlement to you.
He can give me a couple claps here and there.
Yeah.
Which really bugs me. As I mentioned earlier, I said that we'd get back to why child rape is an issue.
Okay, so in the 90s, when HIV and AIDS was blowing up out of proportion, it was a myth that if a man or someone who had AIDS had sex with a virgin, then they would be cured of HIV/AIDS.
Again, why? Who?
I don't know how that came about, but that was the thing.
For me, I think the most important thing to learn from everything discussed here is that it seems to be just a South African culture, and we need to talk about it. We need to ask those questions about why is sleeping with a virgin supposed to cure HIV/AIDS, or just to ask those questions, because if you don't, you're perpetuating the culture of gender-based violence and rape.
Yeah, Bugz, bring up a good point there. Guys do need to talk about it. They need to ask questions. And they also need to teach their fellow men, their brothers, their sons, and everyone in their circle. I think if you talk about it and how to be gentlemen, how to treat a woman, because if you think about it, think about the person you're thinking about during this episode. How would you feel if that happened to someone you love or someone you know? If someone had to walk by and harass them, catcall, smack their ass, whatever it is. So guys, I'm appealing to you. Think about that the next time you hear one of these stories, or you hear someone making a joke, or you hear someone being inappropriate. Stand up for the woman. Stand up for the woman. Be a man. That's what being a man is.
And that was Blues But for the week.
Thanks for staying tuned. Be sure to tell us how much you loved listening to us.
Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Podbean.
Catch your two favorite brown Catholic South Africans next week.
Stay safe.
Peace.